What's happening, Panda Nation? Peter Von Panda here. Face masks might keep you safe. Guys, coronavirus and a lot of other things are out there, and if you want to protect yourself, a face mask is a good way to do that. Now, I know in the past people have kind of poo-pooed these because you might look a little silly doing it, but there are a lot of different face masks for different purposes, and this is just a non-woven face mask. It kind of looks like a surgical mask right here. This is a 50-pack. They also come in a 20-pack. This is by TOOVREN, and what I like about these is that they are just good products to have on hand. You know, you don't have to be a prepper to appreciate these, but they can be useful for just a lot of things, and especially when you're dealing with disease and things like that in the air, they can be a little bit of protection. Now, for coronavirus and a lot of the droplet viruses, you need something called an N95 mask in order to prevent the transmission of that. But a little mask like this, even though it's not necessarily an N95 mask, can go a long way to helping prevent you catching some of those things. And that's because, especially if you get a droplet, it might be a good first line of defense, as opposed to getting sneezed on and having those little particles go in your nose or your mouth and you have no choice but to ingest them. If you have something like this that catches it, and even if you can throw this away as opposed to letting it absorb in and then wash up and wash your face and hands, it might help prevent that. Now, these things are also good for other things, and I always encourage people to have a package of these. A 50-pack like this isn't necessarily going to go to waste. There's a lot of times when I want dust masks just to prevent myself from breathing in stuff, whether it's cutting drywall or plywood or cutting up logs or working on cleaning out the fireplace or whatever it is. You know, I just don't want to breathe that stuff in, so things like this can go a long way. Now, also, if you are healthy and you have someone in your home that's sick, it can also be a nice way to just help prevent yourself from catching some of those things, whether it's the cold or flu or any of that type of thing. So first of all, like I said, 3 ply. So these are quite thick. They feel almost like paper towelish thick, but obviously quite a bit tighter on the weave. They have a nice kind of overlapping, almost accordion-like structure to them so that they can stretch out, kind of give you a nice little dome around your mouth. We have a little wire right here, so that'll help you mold it and keep it right up against your face, kind of create a nice tight seal just like that. We also have elastic, very comfortable and very light round elastic loops here. So you would kind of mold it like this a little bit, put it on your face like this, and then put it around your ears, and that will stay on there. Now you can kind of drop this down a little lower here, just like that. Woo! I make this look good. But I can breathe through this, and the nice thing is, despite how thick this is, despite the fact that you have 3 plies of material here preventing, you know, things from getting in, I can still breathe just fine, and I'm taking some really heavy, exaggerated breaths, you know, and like I said, I can kind of mold the wire here, the underwire, to my face here so that I'm not kind of drawing things in from the side. So the air is really coming out of the front of this mask, which is nice because if I do breathe in something and it's in the air, it's going to be sucked against the paper and it's going to catch it. You know, it's just like any other filter, like for your furnace or your car or cabin filter or air filter. You know, again, it's not necessarily going to be a safeguard against some of the viruses that are transmitted, but it might prevent it. Like I said, if you get it on here and you can get rid of this thing, dispose of it, throw it away, clean up, that might be good enough. So in the absence of N95 masks being available everywhere, something like this, a woven face mask, might be a great alternative. 50 of these so that you can definitely throw them away. You don't have to worry about it. They are less than $1 a piece when you buy them in bulk. Like I said, a 20-pack of these is like $20, so it's a little closer to $1, but you know, they're great, and they're great to have around. You might not need this right now, and this might not serve the purpose that you need right now, but I've even seen people that live in like Colorado and California have some of these things for wildfires, right? Because now you're having ash and smoke and things like that in the air, and some of these things can just help filter out some of that stuff before it gets in your lungs, where it's really, really hard to get rid of when that happens. So a little prevention can go a long way. And you know, for the people who are complaining that these aren't available and you can't get masks now and people are hoarding them, you know what? Get them early. Get them when you don't need them, so that when you do need them, you have them on hand. I just bought these, so I bought these after the pandemic alerts here, so they are in stock. You can get them. I will put a link to them in the description below. Peter Von Panda, out.